Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is the second part of the CBSC bylaws, which we were discussing previously. And last time we have discussed about the topic called what is the role of the head of the institution or the principal. Okay, so if you do remember that we have discussed about this point called this last one was the point which we discussed that they make the satisfactory arrangement for the supply of the good drinking water and provide other facilities for the pupils and ensure that the school building its fixtures and furnitures, office equipment, lavatories means washrooms, playground, school garden, okay, and all the other properties of the school. That is the responsibility of the head of the institution to look after. Now, in the series, we are moving ahead with the next point here. So, the next duty of head of the institution or the principal is he supervise, guide, and control the work of the teaching and non-teaching staff. Okay, that all comes under him. The point number 12 says he is the in charge of admission in the school, preparation of the school timetable, allocation of the duties means distribution of the duties and teaching load to the teachers, and shall provide the necessary facilities to the teachers for the discharge of their duties and the conduct of the school examination in accordance with the instructions issued by the government or the board from time to time. The point number 13 says he plans the year's academic work in advance in consultation with his colleagues and hold the staff meetings at last of the month, means at the end of the month there should be a meeting conducted by the principal or head of the institution. He reviews, means he look after the work done during the month and assess the progress of the pupil. Point number 14 says head of the institution or the principal help and guide the teachers to promote their professional growth and activity. He encourages the participation in course designed for the in a service education. Point number 15 says that principal promotes the initiative of the teachers and self-improvement and encourage them to undertake the pedagogy and other innovations which are educationally sound. Point number 16 says he supervised the classroom teaching and secure the cooperation and coordination among the teachers and same subject areas as well as the inter-subject coordination. Okay, means principal can visit the classrooms, he can supervise the classroom as per the requirement of the school. Point number 70 is he arranges for the special remedial teaching of the children belonging to the weaker section and communities, also of the children who need such remedial teaching. And what is the remedial teaching here? That is the extra coaching can be provided to the weaker section of the community. Point number 18 says the arrange for informal and non-classroom teaching. Point number 19 says he plan and specify a regular timetable for the scrutiny of the pupils' written work and home assignment, and ensure, means he makes sure that the assignment and corrections are carried out timely and effectively. Point number 20 says he make necessary arrangement for organizing a special instruction for the pupils according to their needs if it is required. Like for example, if somebody is having the visual problem, so the principal can look into this matter. He can request the teacher, or he can inform the teacher that this particular child is having problem, he should be sitting front in the classroom. Point number 21 says he organize and coordinate the various co-curricular activities through the house system in such other effective ways he may think fit. Okay, principal develop and organize library resources and reading facilities in the school and ensure that pupils, means students and teachers, have access to them and use of the books and journals of established values and usefulness. Point number 23 says that he sends a regular progress report of the students to their parents and guardian. Means this is the responsibility of the principal to look into the matter that the student report is reaching to their house properly, to the parents, guardian, whoever is there. Point number 24 says he promote the physical well-being of the pupils, ensure the high standard of cleanliness, health habits, arrange the periodical medical examination of the student and medical reports to parents and guardian. Point number 25 says he devotes at least one period per day to the teaching of the pupil. Now see guys, you must have seen that there are a school where the principal don't even take a single period, but that is not right. Okay, a principal is supposed to take at least the one teaching period should be there, so that he or she should be in the touch with the student. Point number 26 says that he's be responsible for sending the teachers for evaluation of the answer script and respect to the board examination and other duties related to the academics, training and conduct of the examination as per the requirement of the board from time to time. Okay, the point number 27, which is the last rule here, as per this, the principal or the head of the school shall not refuse any duty assigned by the board in connection with the conduct of examination, evaluation of the answer script, result processing, and other ancillary activities. The head of the institution or the principal shall act as a center superintendent whenever and wherever appointed by the board, and shall not delegate the authority, duties, and responsibilities to any other person under any circumstances. Okay, now as we said that CBSE schools, they have a manager. Okay, or we call it the correspondent of school. Okay, this person's job is like to or make all the correspondent related to the school. So we will discuss about the role of manager of the CBSE schools. Okay, the first role of the manager is the manager or the correspondent will be an important and necessary link between the trust, society, and the school. Okay, he or she will be responsible for carrying out the instructions of the board. Point number 2 says that he or she should ensure the direction from the society that are conveyed to the school management committee and to the head of the institution properly. Manager is responsible, he or she is responsible, will be exercise general supervision over the school subject to the control of the management committee. He or she will exercise such financial powers as are prescribed in the scheme of the management and delegated to him. Next point says that he or she will sign on the appointment letter, a letter for disciplinary action against the staff, and termination and suspension letter, etc., on the behalf of the management committee. Okay. Now he or she will not interfere with the head of the school in discharge of his responsibilities and duties. Okay, means a manager cannot interfere in as far when it comes to the discharge of the responsibilities of the duties. Now all the correspondence concerning the affiliation recognition shall be countersigned by him. Okay, so manager plays a vital or the important role in CBSE school. So please see that all the schools, they have a proper manager, or we can say a correspondent, one who deal with all this content. Okay, next important point we have, that is the role of society, trust, or company. Let's see what is the role of society. Okay, so for point number 1, for the first role of society, says the society, trust, or company will ensure that a school is running as per the provision of the Education Act. Other relevant act as the center, state, or the UT means Union Territory Governments, and affiliation norms of CBSE shall be committed to provide quality education to the children and shall take necessary steps as per the needs for this. Okay, so this is the duty of the society, trust, or company, to see that all the norms are followed properly. Okay, point number 2 says society or the trust should ensure that the school gets proper land, building, library, laboratories, equipment for the sports and other co-curricular activities, furniture, and qualified staff, and ensure the prescribed safety precaution for children as per the norms of the board and actual requirement. Point number 3, it says the society or the trust shall ensure that the school is run as a community service and not as a business. Okay, but what is the ground reality, we all know very well. Okay, actually school is always a social organization. If you see the school, hospitals, and all these are what, these are the charitable, or I can say community services. These are not the business organization, but unfortunately the ground realities are a bit different, as we all know. And that commercialization does not take place in the school in any manner or whatsoever. See this, you can see a very important line or the point, which is the comes under the bylaws of the school or CBSE affiliation bylaws. Okay, there should not be any kind of commercialization in the school. But you must have noticed that many schools, they sell this thing, that thing, and they try to convince and they try to make a hole in the pocket of the parents and whatnot. Okay, but this is something, very important point from my point of view, as you can see. Point number 4 says the trust shall ensure that the funds acquiring from the school are spent for the benefit of the same school and extending the cause of education. Okay, means the whatever fund they are receiving, that should be spent on the development of the school and development of the education there. Okay, point number 5 says that it shall safeguard the autonomy of the principal. Means autonomy means independent. Okay, the trust or society should have control over the school management committee also. Okay. Point number 7 says it shall have control over any capital expenditure. Okay, that is on land and the construction of building, it expansion and procurement of the major equipment for the school. Point number 8 says that it shall provide funds for the needs of the school, whether it is recurring or non-recurring. Okay. Point number 9, it shall ensure that the teacher employed in the school are imparted teachers training as per the directions issued by the board from time to time. So this society or the trust can look into this matter also. Point number 10, it says that it shall ensure that the teacher or the principal and infrastructure available with the school are made available to the board for the conduct of the public examinations, evaluation of answer sheet, the result processing and other ancillary activities. So there may be the occasion that the school may be utilized for any other sort of competitive exam or any government duties. So at that time, the trust and society should see that a school or a school should be ready to provide this to the government for the need. Point number 11. It shall ensure that the principal or the head of the school does not refuse any duty assigned by the board in connection with the conduct of examination, evaluation of answer script, result processing or any other ancillary activities. The next thing as per the CBSE bylaws is the school annual report. Okay. Every school must have an annual report as per CBSE bylaws. Let's see what it says. The school should prepare its annual report containing comprehensive information including name, address, postal and email both, telephone numbers, their affiliation status, period of affiliation means that is affiliated for 3 years or extended or whatever, details of the infrastructure, that how many buildings, playgrounds, number of smart classes, furniture, etc. Academic calendar of the school should be there. Details of the teachers, including their qualification, details of the teachers' training, academic achievements. Okay, write up on all efforts made in the field of environment education, sports achievement, innovation, overall result, PTA activities, important SMC decisions, number of students, etc., and post the same on the school's website before 15th September of every year. Okay, so now you can see that 15th September is an important date here. Okay, and before the 15th September, the annual report of the school should be there on the school's website. This is one of the very important thing. But hardly you will find, as a parents, as a teacher, as a principal, you will see that all the schools are not doing so. Okay, so in that regard, one can ask the school to do so. Okay, next point is about the special education teacher, means a special educator. So as you all know that this every secondary and senior secondary school should appoint a person full time, okay, for special educator. One thing, this appointment and qualification of special educator shall be in accordance with the guidelines of the CBSE board or whatever it is. Okay, here comes the one of the most important question or the point I can say that is important from the parents' point of view as well as from the school point of view. School fees, that is what school fees, and we all are worried about it, and especially during the pandemic situation there was a lot of issues on the school fees related, right? So what the CBSE bylaws says about it, let's see to it. It says the society, trust and companies are required to run the school without any profit motive. First of all, they should not have any profit motive in that. Okay, in accordance with the provisional contained in these bylaws, the school shall endeavor, means they should provide to charge the fees to the extent to expenses for running the schools are met. Okay, means they can charge that much fees only which is required to run a school, that's all. Okay, so school shall follow the following norms in respect to the of the fee charged from pupils. Now what are these norms? Okay, we are going to discuss the one by one all these norms of it. Let's see. Okay, the norm number 1, the first point regarding the fee structure. No society, trust or company or the school shall charge caption fee or accept donations for the purpose of admission for the pupil. Means caption fee means there should not be any acceptance of any kind of donation. No school is allowed. If any CBSE school is accepting the donation from the parents in any form, then that is wrong as per the rule 7.1 here, as you can see. Rule number 7.2 says the admission fee and the fee charge under any other head are to be charged only as per the regulation of the appropriate government. Okay, if any additional fees has been charged, so that should be according to the guidelines of the government. 7.3 says the fee shall be charged under the heads prescribed by the Department of Education of the states and union territories. Okay, so means head of the Department of Education means we are talking about the education minister of that particular state. Okay, one who is looking after the education. So if that person has prescribed certain specific fee structure, so they can charge what but for that the school has to give the proper reason for it, that what purpose the high fees has been charged. Okay guys, so I am stopping this video over here. Now the next we will discuss all about the school management committee etc in the next video. Till then, bye bye and have a nice day to all of you. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Bye bye.